that straight on hi-fi beat. Give me paper, pen, and one mic to make this man complete. I'm always stay sucker free. So haters hop off my dick till the day I DIE. Focus till my mission complete. Never stops that victory from the jaws of defeat. Focused on create heat. Missile shot, war down enemies. We must defeat. This MC is so unique. Rocking heads, stop them dead, then bring them back to their feet. You better watch what you speak. Just popping off with the mouth, I leave your body feel weak. Switch your face and grit your teeth. Cause anything else will have your outlook look bleak. Death is the time for sleep. Nicho, make a rhyme. Never slow down, never stop, I'm always on my grind. In any mountain I will climb. Reach my physical prime and I ascend to the peak. Introducing Omar, the Professor Fonseca, and the Professor Semanalmente. Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up, friends? Yes, indeed, back at again. It has been a minute, hasn't it, since we have seen each other? Yes, it has been a month, 1 month. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Well, I know you did. Yes, I know you did. Hey, look, had to take a little break. Only going to do a few more of these specifically. The reason I started doing the Professor's Semanalmente was in order to be able to brush up my skills as a news media journalist to be able to do this in the future on professional network television. So that was the reason that I did this in the first place. And once I get to 45 episodes, I will stop. So this is episode 42. As well, going to be closing out that podcast. Never did that 55th anniversary episode, so I will get to that as well at some point. But hey, that's neither here nor there. No, you are here. I am your host, Omar, the Professor Fonseca, and this is the Professor's Semanalmente. And as always, I thank you for tuning in. Yes, I love it. Thank you to all my fans and everybody out there. We're up to over 5,500 subscribers on the YouTube. So thank you so very much. Continue to bless us by hitting that subscribe button. There is a Linktree QR code right up there at the top. Go ahead and hit that up. That'll take you to our Linktree where you can subscribe to our YouTube as well as follow Instagram and so many other things there on all the social media there on the Linktree. As well, hit that like button whether you're watching now or on the replay, as it does truly help us in the algorithm. It is free to you, but invaluable to us. So yes, thank you again. Welcome to Ball and Buds. I know it's been a long time. Happy to see us back. Before we get started, some programming notes for the week. We were supposed to do our MLB Playoffs Preview tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, but I do not know if we're going to do that anymore. We had something come up. Prayers up to one of my friends. Get well soon. But we'll see if we're going to be able to get that done tomorrow or maybe later in the week, or I might just wait until between the divisional rounds of the playoffs. But don't worry, MLB coming soon. And as well, Thursday night, tune in 8 Eastern for Clubbity the Combat G's Combat Sports Special for UFC 320. Yes, indeed. We are going to go through all the matches on UFC 320. We'll talk some boxing, do some PFL quick club bangers, and that'll be Thursday night at 8 Eastern on Ball and Buds. So make sure you tune in then as well. And then finally, I got this backwards on Wednesday, as long as I'm not sure yet because I may go to a concert. But if I don't, because they asked me to go cover a concert down at the Franklin Amphitheater, and I've never been there, and I want to go because it's like a mini Red Rocks, they say. Anyways, if I go, I won't be on. But if I don't go, then I'll be on for my news portion. Today, I just wanted to come on for sports and entertainment. NFL is coming on in 15 minutes. There's a doubleheader tonight. Not that they're very good games. It's the Jets and the Dolphins, and then the Broncos and the Bengals. So you're not really missing out on much, especially if you stick here with me, especially during the Jets-Dolphins game. That's full of booty juice. That's going to be, like when a dolphin takes a shit in the water and it's all liquid shit. Yeah, that's what kind of booty juice that's going to be. The other game, if it's Hot Take Jake supported, it's definitely booty juice. It's the kind of booty juice where a Bronco takes a dookie in the middle of the field and it like drips down its tail on the backside. That's the kind of booty juice that game's going to be. So you're not missing anything. Staying here with your boy, the sports professor, the professor, street professor. Oh, did you hear the new intro, baby? Did you hear it? Did you hear the world premiere of the new intro to the Professor Semanalmente Mind of the Professor? It's a banger. Shout out to your boy, the street professor that created that. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. All right. Shout out to Jersey boy MJ watching in on the IG. I see you, brother. Hey, MLB baseball. You ready? You ready? Because I know I am. Before we get into that, and we're going to get into that in just a moment here. First of all, I wanted to do one quick promotion here for ALS. So I don't know if some of you have not heard of ALS before. I know Jersey boy MJ has, because it's the famed Lou Gehrig disease, and he is a Yankees fan. So I know he's definitely heard of it. But ALS is a horrible disease that affects a lot of people, and although it's not as known as cancer and other diseases like that, a lot of people still deal with this. And one in particular, the only one that I know particularly, is my brother from the military, veteran, David Dubois. And David is going to be, I just Europeanized his last name. That's hilarious. I know he's going to laugh at that. ALS is, again, a bad disease. So they do a walk to defeat ALS every October. So that's going to be this Saturday coming up. And David has done a tremendous, amazing, fantastic job of trying to advocate for finding a disease for ALS. So I want you to do two things if you want to support this cause. First of all, make sure you subscribe to his blog at David's ALS Journey. Just that easy, David's ALS Journey. It's a Wix site, so just type that into Google and you'll have it come up. And as well, if you would like to join his team for the Walk to Defeat ALS, I have put the link in the YouTube video comments. Please go there, click that link. It is free to participate. You can join his team. You do not have to be in Washington, D.C. to participate, but you can walk wherever you are. So if you can walk and and you want to support a good cause and you have the time, then please go ahead and sign up. Again, it's free this Saturday, October 4th. David does still need a few more teammates to round out the team. And if you just want to donate, there's nothing wrong with that either. Donations are being accepted at that ALS site, which is the major ALS organization. So you don't have to worry about any, shenanigans or things like that. But yeah, again, I am definitely supporting and trying to find a cure for this horrible disease, which affects a lot of people and typically leads to, complete paralysis and obviously the tragicness that comes with all of that. So what's good, brother? Jersey boy MJ tuning in. Appreciate you and everything that you have fought through yourself, my brother. I lost my second father. Oh, wow. To me, second father to you last year from ALS. I'm sorry to hear that. My prayers are with you and your family and as well their family. Never good to lose anyone. Yes, a horrible disease to have to go through that. Speaking of baseball, Sarah Langs, shout out to her as well. She's the MLB's major reporter, statistician. They're always featuring her on ESPN. She actually has ALS. So prayers for her as well and everyone dealing with that. It is a truly, truly heartbreaking disease. So prayers that we find a cure for that. And obviously, cancer and everything. Obviously our technology is getting better as time passes, and hopefully we'll be able to find cures as soon as possible for all of these things. So again, hit those YouTube comments. It's free to join and participate to support finding a cure for this horrible disease. Again, it's free. The link is on the YouTube at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. All right, cool. Let's move it in to MLB baseball. Oh, you wanted to start already, did you? Oh, that's real cute. Real funny there, Skankies fan. Okay, I'll give it to you. That's all right. That's all right. The Mets had what can be considered the most epic, worst collapse in baseball history. And I'm going to pause so the AI short generator can get that joint and clip it, because this is the most ridiculous shit I have ever seen. What has happened to my Mets? They had the best record in the league. They had the best record in the league for the first half. Then came the second half, and boy, oh boy, was it a tale of two stories. The second half was a collapse of epic proportions. They had a 10-game lead, and they completely lost it, to the effect where a $330 million payroll did not even make the playoffs. Did not even make the playoffs. Playoffs? You talking about playoffs? Who's talking about playoffs? Not the Mets. Not the Mets. You sure as hell ain't. It's me and Mr. Met crying in the back room right now. What a horrible performance. Horrible. And then all you had to do was win one more game than the Reds over the last week of the season, and you threw away key opportunity after key opportunity. And yeah, you're right. Had. That's right. Had. In past tense. We blew every key opportunity that we had, including this weekend against a crappy Marlins team that was playing. I mean, the Marlins team we played was so young. How young were they? They had the coaches calling in the signs to the pitcher, because they could not have the catcher and pitcher calling signs because they were so young. They don't teach them these things anymore in the minor league, which is horrible and something we can talk about on another program at another point in time. But no, it doesn't shock me at all, to be honest. The Mets have completely done this to us time and time again. As a Mets fan my whole life, I have seen this story at least 4 or 5 times now over the past 20 years, and that's 30 years, and that's before even I was born. That they were around for 13, 15 years before I was even born. So whatever happened before then, when they were even more shitty before the Miracle Mets, I don't even know. So the Mets have done this to their fans for a long, long time, and they have continued to upset me. And this is the worst of it. It was a slow descent into hell. Again, a 10-game lead just blown over the second half, ups and downs. We win 5, we lose 10. We win 3, we lose 5. It was like, what the? Anyways, not just us, though. Tigers, you ain't getting away either. No, the Tigers had a 15.5-game lead, and somehow, some way, they blew that to the effect that they barely made the playoffs and almost lost their spot, or almost got kicked out by the Guardians in their own division. So, I mean, Tigers, you ain't getting off easy as well here. You definitely deserve it, but at least you made it to the playoffs. At least you made it. So let's talk about this. The 12-team playoff, you see the bracket there, opens with the best of 3 wild card series. And yes, while my Mets will not be in it, I am still a baseball fan. I got all my crying out last night. I'm still a baseball fan. I'm still looking for good baseball. And boy, oh boy, did the MLB provide some spiciness, a little spiciness in our, take the bracket away from you there, in our first drop of the bracket. I actually wanted to make it a little better. There we go. A little bigger for y'all to see. There we go. So as you can see in this bracket here, this is going to be our first round on the outside. Remember, 3-game series, best of 3. So the first team to 2, basically. And what do we got? Up in the left-hand side, American League. Detroit Tigers, we just talked about them, blew that 15.5-game lead. They're going up against their division rival, the Cleveland Guardians. Moving down in the American League, you see it. Talk about spicy. Woo! Caliente. See, I can't roll my R's or my L's. And don't worry about that. My mom will call me a bad Puerto Rican. That's okay. But you've got the spiciest and best rivalry ever in the American League. Jersey boy MJ's New York Yankees versus Amul Madan and Lion Reese Penn's Boston Red Sox, which is why I was wanting to have an MLB show this week with all three of them so we could talk about the series, but we're going to have to see if we can get that together. Maybe after the series, we can talk about it. And the loser can cry their salty tears. But what with the Pirates? Yeah, they did. You're right. That's okay. I am willing to admit it. I am a real fan. I admit it all the time, and the Tigers did too. Light work, huh? Is that what you're saying? I don't know about that, baby. You're going to have to go up against Garrett Crochet, who will be in the Cy Young contender. He's not going to win it, but he'll be in the – some Red Sox fans would like you to think so. It's going to be a good series. I know that. I think that the Red Sox are a much better team than most people give them credit for. But, again, you can't even hate on this because this is the preeminent rivalry in baseball. Not even the Mets and Yankees. I know they're crosstown rivalries, but it's the Yankees-Red Sox is the biggest rivalry in baseball. All games at Yankee Stadium due to New York's higher seed. As for Detroit, remember, they're going to the Guardians. All right, cool. Let's move it over to the National League side. You see, we got these Cincinnati Reds going. Before we got, yeah, you're right about that. Remember, starting pitching, even though it doesn't matter as much as it used to because pitchers aren't going as long, y'all, we still got to remember that good starting pitching that can get you at least 6 innings is going to be crucial because a lot of these pitchers can't even go 4 or 5 innings anymore these days. And having a combination of at least Fried and Rodon, who are proven, Schindler, however the fuck you say it. I knew that was going to happen. He's still a rookie, so we'll see if he can hold up in the bright lights of the postseason for the first time. But definitely Fried and Rodon. I like that 1-2 combo. And again, it's just a 3-game series. So if you win those first 2 games right off the bat, boom, you ain't even got to worry about going to the Rook. So I hear you on that. And you're right. You got to go up against at least Crochet though. So we'll see what happens there with that. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting series. Moving it to the National League side, you got it there. The Cincinnati Reds going to visit the Los Angeles Dodgers, your reigning and defending Major League Baseball champions, the Reds. Screw you. I get it. I mean, they say if you can't beat them, join them. That's what Cupboard did say last night with the Jaguars colors. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Screw you, Reds. You don't even deserve it. Your team sucks, but you deserve it more than us because we flailed out. Reds are going to meet the Dodgers in what should be a quick series for the Dodgers. And then lastly, you see at the bottom there, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying. I agree with you. Hey, you can be a quick riser as a rookie. If the Mets would have got into the playoffs, we would have pitched probably at least 1, if not 2 rookies of our rookies. So, yeah, it's all good. Hey, if you can get it done, that is all that matters. And then, again, you got in the bottom side, we've got the San Diego Padres visiting the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field with future MVP Pete Crow Armstrong, PCA. No, it won't be this year, but in a future year, it will be. So let me give you my predictions here. First of all, in your top series, I don't see how you can blow a 15.5 game lead to your rival and they take over the division for you. Y'all have heard me talk before in the past few years, and you always hear me talk about momentum when you're in the playoffs. Good old Uncle Mo, momentum. That matters. Detroit Tigers completely shit the bed in the playoffs in September to barely get into the playoffs. Their arch rival, the Guardians, on the other hand, took advantage of that to take the higher seed and win the division. I don't see that stopping. Guardians win and move on to face the Seattle Mariners. In your bottom series here, you got the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Aaron Judge led the AL with a .331 average and 53 home runs and 114 RBIs this season. Jersey boy MJ would have you believe that is the MVP of the American League. But no, sir. You see it, Cal Raleigh, catcher for the Seattle Mariners. They call him the Big Dumper because he got a big backside, because he got a badonka-donk, as some of them would call it, pause. He's a big dude. He's a catcher. But he hit 60 home runs, which is unheard of for a catcher ever. They barely get there. And so that's my pick over Aaron Judge. Again, it's very hard to get to 60 home runs, even harder when you play the most demanding position in baseball and you're the leader of the team. They call the catcher the quarterback of the team. So, yeah, numbers don't lie. He had a good season. Not good enough. If he could have got to 60 home runs, then maybe we'd be talking, but nah, He's had it good. He's had it enough. And yes, I am one of those people. You've had it enough. Give somebody else a chance. Let's move it on to the NL. In the NL, I have, by the way, yeah, that's fine. In the NL, we're going to have the Dodgers over the Reds. I already told you about that one. Should be a sweep, to be honest. The other two won't be. And then the San Diego Padres, Chicago Cubs, going to be another good series. But yeah, I got the Cubs. The Cubbies, baby. The Cubbies getting over the San Diego Padres' huge payroll and roster as well. Maybe payrolls and rosters aren't the thing anymore. We'll see. He hit more. He didn't hit more home runs. That's for damn sure. Cal Raleigh, as we just talked about, had over 60. So he. You're talking about Cal Raleigh. I got what you're saying. Okay, got you. I had it backwards. Got you. Yeah. Hey, that's okay. He also plays a harder position and also has to call games and do a lot more than Aaron Judge has to do standing in the outfield picking his ass. Yankees going down. Anyways, all right, let's keep it moving. In that final bottom one, yeah, I got the Cubs taking the cake there. So we'll come back later on. Again, I hope to get the brothers in either at the end of this week, early next week for an MLB baseball show. Jersey Boy, I'll be hitting you up soon to coordinate that here later on in the week. But yeah, we'll probably go after it's probably better for us to go after anyways the wild card before we go into the divisional, because the wild cards are short. They're only three game series. So, all right, cool. That is baseball. Again, make sure you subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLAND BUDS on YouTube. Go ahead, hit that like button for me now. I'm talking to you. It's free to you, but it helps us so much. So go ahead and that like button, whether watching now or on the replay. And yeah, we will see what happens there and update you next week. All right, cool. Oh, one more thing. After that, though, the winners, when they go into the next round, it's not going to be best of 3 anymore. It's going to be a best of 7. So just to let you all know that. Best of 5, excuse me. Best of 5 in the division series, and then best of 7 in the league champion series and the World Series. So 3, 5, 7, 7 in the Major League Baseball divisional. That's how many games the series are best out of. Also, by the way, the odds on favorites right now, according to BetMGM, shout out to BetMGM if you want to sponsor this program, holla at your boy, the sports professor. But they are the 425 favorite to win the World Series. After that, you've got the Mariners. Very surprising to me there. The Mariners are at 500. And then the Dodgers at 550 and Jersey Boy MJ's Yankees at 700 to round out your top 4. Yep, you got it. 3577. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. So why the fuck does the lying betting fuck it? I mean, wait, what? Was he implicated into the betting scandal of the other Mariners player? Because I didn't hear that he was implicated into that. But if you're talking about Ohtani, and okay, well, Ohtani had better stats than everybody else in the NL. I mean, you could say PCA. I mean, it's going to be very tough. You could say Soto is up there. By the way, you were hating on Soto all year. Ended up having a 40-30 season. Yeah. Anyways, you could have him in there as well. But yeah, no, I think Ohtani is going to take home the NL MVP hands down. Oh, by the way, Major League Baseball, 3rd consecutive year of growth at the gates, a total of attendance of 71.4 million. The Dodgers led all the clubs for a 12th straight season, topping 4 million fans, while the lowly A's, shout out D. Cleasy, and the Rays both had only 780. Actually, the Rays had right above 750,000, which is pretty horrible. if you think about it. They ain't even hit 1 million fans. Now, they did play in minor league stadiums, but it's still pretty bad. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. All right. Anyways, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. He's back to pitching now, though, so they're definitely not going to let him do that. But if you could make him into an outfielder, he'd be good in the outfield, too. He is a natural athlete that will be good anywhere you put him, so stop being a hater. All right, let's move it on into our next topic here. College football rankings and our NFL rankings. Yes, indeed. You see it. So on the left-hand side, you see we got our college football rankings after a wild weekend of college football. Ohio State staying at number 1 in your AP top 25, still undefeated, followed by Oregon after a huge victory over the Penn State failures. I'm going to stop calling y'all the Nittany Lions. I'm going to start calling y'all the can't win the big gamers. That's what I'm going to call y'all. And I know it ain't your fault. I know it's James Franklin. I know James Franklin, unfortunately, cannot win a big game to save his life. But that also ain't got nothing to do with me. And at some point, as we talked about yesterday on Sunday Showdown, by the way, shameless plug, tune in every Sunday weekly after the main games, before the night games. We do our NFL, college football, Sunday shows and recaps, Sunday Showdown. So make sure you catch us there at Ball and Buds. Anyways, continuing on. So what a great win, right, by Oregon over Penn State there in double overtime. Then that's followed up Miami there at number 3. So you have Miami still undefeated at 4-0. Ole Miss with a huge victory over LSU this past weekend. Again, yeah, very, very good victory for them. And then finally rounding out the top 5, Oklahoma State undefeated with Heisman Trophy favorite John Mateer leading them at QB. We'll give a shout out to the other undefeated teams there, Texas A&M and Indiana, and Texas Tech and Iowa State. And yes, you see them. Shout out to the place that I spent 3 years as a professor of digital marketing. Shout out to the Vanderbilt Commodores coming in at 16th. And yes, also to the Tennessee Volunteers there at 15. And shout out to them because they definitely deserved it with how they got over on my UCLA Bruins in that Nico Iamaleava crazy thing that we had happen in the offseason, and why UCLA is 0-4 and just lost to Northwestern because they are some basura. All right, cool. Moving it into our NFL power rankings. This is courtesy of Sporting News. You can see it here on the right-hand side. Philadelphia Eagles, undefeated 4-0, should be defending champions. They should still be on the top until they are defeated. Buffalo Bills, the Bills Mafia at number 2. They're undefeated as well. They have the Los Angeles Rams at 3-1. Beating the Colts, who were previously undefeated. So that's a good victory for them. Following that up, number 4, the Green Bay Packers. After what was a crazy game last night between the Packers and the Cowboys. Hey, NFL, listen up to me a little bit before I give you the side eye. Ain't nobody want no fucking ties. Don't nobody want no ties. No. Them players get paid millions of dollars a year. I don't want to hear nothing about player safety. Play another 5 minutes. Do something. Do some sudden death. Have some old fat mofos from the O-line and D-line run wind sprints. I don't care. Get it done. Ain't no need for a damn tie. Don't nobody want to see no damn ties. Don't nobody want to see a tie. This is 2025. All the technology we got. We can't come up with a better way to not have a damn tie. And it's 10 minutes. You knew you was going to get more ties in 10 minutes in overtime. Get it together, Roger Goodell. Get it together. And if you need me to come help, be a consultant, just call me. Call me. MVP Specialty Marketing Business, Omar Fonseca, shameless plug. Rounding out the top 5, one of my Super Bowl teams, the Detroit Lions, looking very formidable at 3-1 after losing that initial game to the Ravens, which y'all calm down. I get it. If Lamar Jackson is hurt, then yes. Then you got to get into the whole Houston, Baltimore, we have a problem. But let us see first what reports come back on Lamar Jackson. If anybody has any updates, I was trying to look for some today. I didn't find any. If anybody has any updates, let me know. But until we get further news on that, yes, did they lose $140 million of people yesterday? Ronnie Stanley, Marlon Humphreys, Roquan Smith, Kyle Van Noy, so on and so forth. Yes. And that sucks. Because if they have all those people injured, well, there's no way any team would be able to win with all your best players injured. So we'll see what happens. But good thing for the Ravens, they got an early bye week in week 7. They also have a light schedule before the bye week, as light as it can be. So if they can hold off, even if Lamar is hurt, until after the bye when he can come back, whatever it may be, the Ravens are still in that shitty division, are still the favorites to win that division. If you can believe it, at 1-4, they are still the betting favorites to win that division. And I still expect them to do that. Now, will they make the Super Bowl? Going to be a lot harder. I talked about it on the Sunday Showdown show last night. Here's your professor's fun fact, or pro fact rather. It's since the 14-team playoff era started in the NFL, only 5 teams have made it to the playoffs after starting 1-3. So very, very hard to do. We will see what happens there. All right. But yeah, what a great start to the season so far. Ibazuras Mizet in my heritage language of Hungary. Oh, shoot. I'm going to have to look that up now. Thank you for that. I'm going to look up what that means afterwards. But it seems like basura, which is trash in Spanish. So I'll go with trash, and then Sismit looks like a little shiznit. So I'm going to say that my prediction was basura shiznit because you want Judge to win. All right, I'm cool, bro. I appreciate you. As always, my brother. Be safe, rest up, feel better. As always, my friend. Be well. All right, cool. Let's keep it moving. WNBA playoffs. Oh, we talk about all the sports. Don't look at me like we ain't never talked about WNBA on here. Maybe you're a new watcher to the show, but we love to give the ladies their just due when it talks about sports, and the WNBA is no different. The playoffs have been awesome so far. Unfortunately, the biggest story of the playoffs has been injuries. And that came into play this past week. We already know Caitlin Clark hasn't been playing for the Fever, which is a huge, thing for the WNBA. But we also know that one of the reasons the Minnesota Lynx were eliminated by the Phoenix Mercury is because Nafisia Collier, one of the best players in the league, was unfortunately injured with an ankle injury. Let me move myself up there a little bit. Injured with a little bit of an ankle injury this past week. And so, I wish I could get the right screen. There we go. Injured with the ankle injury and was out of the series. So the Phoenix Mercury were able to eliminate them 3-1. So what do we got here in our WNBA playoffs? Well, this is what it looks like. We've got the Phoenix Mercury going into the finals, and they are waiting for the winner of the Las Vegas Aces versus the aforementioned Indiana Fever. Again, Indiana Fever not playing with Caitlin Clark, but they have still been able to go pretty far and very much exceeding expectations for a team that before the season wasn't expected to win this much. But as I keep telling y'all keep faking on one of the beasts, Aliyah Boston. You just got to know what it is. So we'll see if they can actually beat Las Vegas. But, Las Vegas has been my favorite team for a while now in the WNBA. They got a host of talent. there. Obviously, Asia Wilson goes without saying as the former 2-time MVP, but just the rest of the talent there is just immaculate. Hall of Famers and Breanna Stewart and all the good stuff. So I look for them to win every season, and I don't know. And Phoenix is a good team. Don't get me wrong. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know that Las Vegas is going to lose this year either. They would be my pick, going forward. All right. Awesome. Let's move it to a little bit of a mixed bag. The Ryder Cup golf. Yes, Ryder Cup. Europe reclaims the cup. And as I was talking to my golf insider, aka my pops, he was telling me how Europe definitely went up big early. U.S. was fighting back, trying to come back at the last day, but the Europeans won 15-13. And what that means is they played a bunch of different matches, doubles and otherwise, singles and otherwise, and they added up the number of matches won. And so 15-13, Europe over the United States. This marks Europe's 9th win in the Ryder Cup event in the last 12 years. Yes, you can call it domination, Holmes. Shout out my brother Michael Wilbon. But yeah, they're just dominating the U.S. in this tournament, and no surprise they did so again here. The big thing of note here was that there was a lot of talk of how the American fans were a little too rowdy. Now, look, man, I don't know. I do know that golf is supposed to be obviously a sport where you have some modicum of decorum, so to say, right? A modicum of decorum where you're supposed to act a certain way, stay at a certain level of decibels in terms of sound, not yell certain things, so on and so forth. And golf has done a good job of keeping it that way. Shout out my golf insider, Miriam Gillis, who complains about this all the time when she hears Jim Nance in the booth talking. But look, it's golf. It's traditionally been a sport where it's a lot of the noise level is brought down. And golfers are used to playing in an environment where they have quiet in order to be able to hone their craft, right? And be able to apply their craft, be able to golf properly because they're used to quiet. And whether you may not agree with that or you do, whether, that's neither here nor there. What does matter is that's how the sport has always been. And no matter if they do have the Waste Management Open in Arizona and Phoenix, where all the people are drunk and going crazy, all the frat boys, that doesn't matter, which, by the way, I want to go. Invite me. I'll come cover it. It's not the way that golf is. It's not the way that golf has been. If you want that, they got the TGL, Tigers Golf League, or the Tomorrow Golf League that they have on ESPN, where they got the lights, they got the music, so on and so forth. But for traditional golf, you're never going to get that into the traditional golf fans' household until very much in the future, maybe, when maybe my generation or even after my generation kind of gets into golf. But right now, with the people who are the older generation in golf, that's not going to happen. Because the majority of people watching it on TV and the majority of fans that are paying are older elder people that are not about to let that shit happen. So shout out to Europe for winning the Ryder Cup. Let the AI clip that as well. All right, cool. Moving it into a final story here, sports business. And this was a story going on in my group chat, and I told them I'd cover it today. Of all my 703 boys, shout out all the 703 boys tuning in right now. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. EA Sports Takeover. What's happening? Well, there is a major buyout that is going to occur of Electronic Arts. What is Electronic Arts? Have you ever heard of EA Sports? The maker of Madden video games. That is EA. They also make a whole bunch of other video games that are not sports related, but for the people watching right now, probably makes the most sense. The deal is reported to be valuing the company at $50 million. What has happened is Electronic Arts has pivoted to live service revenue. And so you asked the professor, Omar, the professor, what is live service revenue? Well, let me let you know. There's a game out right now called Apex Legends. And so in that game, the Electronic Arts game maker allows the users to make very small in-game purchases and rewards them. It's kind of like gamification, but to a bigger extent, because it's kind of like the Pokemon strategy a little bit that you can see, but they've leveraged it into more tactile video games, more video games played on gaming systems and online versus necessarily on the mobile phone. So live service allows them to actually be able to generate revenue live time. They also do it through advertising. I don't know if any of you have been on Roblox or in the metaverse. I, as a digital marketing professor, have been in the metaverse plenty of times. There's plenty of advertising and generating revenue in the metaverse. That's how they make a lot of it. So yeah, when you walk around with your little virtual character, you'll see advertisements everywhere. Pretty fucking cool. Actually, don't call me a nerd. You can call yourself a nerd for not knowing it. Anyways, so what's happening here? Let's tell you a little bit about this. There will be some scrutiny. There will be some backlash. There may even be some people that are kind of against this and maybe try to stop this from happening. But also the other one that I guess people that don't know sports would know is very simple. The Sims. Everybody knows The Sims, right? You've had to have played The Sims at some point in your life. The Sims is made by Electronic Arts as well. Anyways, so this will be the biggest deal since Bella Goth. Hold on. Wait, where was I at? Hold on 1 second. I lost my place. Where did I go? Oh, okay. So here we are. Who is going to be included in buying the Electronic Arts, right? There's going to be a consortium, a number of businesses, a number of investment funds that are going to combine to buy the Electronic Arts property. That includes Silver Lake, who we've heard about a bunch. That's an investment firm here, very big in the United States, and Affinity Partners. And for all of you heads and all of you people that want to talk about Saudi Arabia and their sports washing and all of these other things, and all the people that want to be up in arms. Oh, they did 9/11, and so they shouldn't be able to invest into this and that, and blase, 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 blase. Lose me with that bullshit. If you've watched me before, you've heard me on this topic plenty of times. Saudi Arabia's private investment fund, or the PIF, as I like to call it, is invested into every single United States company. So get the fuck over it. Everything you use, Disney, Amazon, Uber, everything. So it doesn't matter. Get off your high horse. Okay? So if there's going to be a lot of people pissed off because now they don't want to play video games because the Saudis are investing in there. And how about this? Especially to the conservative side of the aisle who loves to use this. Jared Kushner owns Affinity Partners, the son-in-law of President Donald Trump. Also the one that was touted today in the Israel agreement with Benjamin Netanyahu, which, by the way, I'll talk about on my news program, shameless plug, Professor Semanalmente News, USA and World News, which I'll hopefully be doing Wednesday, maybe if I don't go to that concert. I digress. So miss me with that. I'm sick and tired of the argument. And also, you'll know how I feel. I'm a veteran, so I can say whatever I want about this, as I was serving when 9/11 happened. Rest in peace to all my veteran and everybody that lost their life that day. Worst day in our history. You can't say, just because a group of Saudi Arabia people were included in those group of terrorists that this company can't then invest into the United States in the future. That doesn't correlate. That can't be 1 + 1 = 2. Okay? Because we have to face facts. If we want to remain a world power, or the preeminent world power, we have to leverage the resources of our allies our acquaintances and our enemies. And at this point in time, Saudi Arabia is an acquaintance of the United States. And we leverage them for their oil. And if you don't like it, too bad for you. They didn't cause 9/11 just because the guys that did it were in the group. Those guys were hired to do the job. You think that was all of Saudi Arabia behind it? And even if it was, how would you prove that? And I could go further into it. We won't talk about who actually trained bin Laden. But I digress. You can go see The Mind of the Professor. Shameless plug. I've talked about this before on The Mind of the Professor, and I go way deeper. So if you want to find my researched and nuanced opinion on this from a person very close to that, you can go back and see it. But yeah, get off your high horse with that. The Saudi investment fund is invested into pretty much everything in the United States. It has arms and hands and legs in everything that you do. Just gonna have to get over it. You are. This is the way that it is. Microtransactions. Yes, sir. Hey, by the way, shout out my brother Clubber D. As I promoted at the top of the show, don't forget this Thursday night, 7 Eastern special start time for us. We're going to lead you into the San Francisco 49ers game. As you know, Clubber D is a San Francisco 49ers fan, so we will talk about that game. But we also talk about UFC 320 and some boxing and a great segue. I can't believe it, Clubber D. It's perfect how we always have these segues. Somehow you commented right now while I was about to talk about the only boxing story of the show, but and I'm sure Clubber D is going to talk more about this on Thursday night, so you're going to want to hear his opinion. Did you see the video of Terence Crawford getting pulled over by the police, forced out of his car at gunpoint in Nebraska on the same day he was honored as the honorary key to the city type person? I mean, you've got to be kidding me. They said they pulled over a car for driving reckless. I can tell you what that means. That's AKA DWB, driving while black. That's the only crime he committed. Because when they pulled him out, yes, they had a firearm on the floorboard apparently, but they also all had permits and everything was legal and on the up and up. He tried to force Terence Crawford out, as you can see on the video at gunpoint. Terence Crawford is like, look, he's telling him everything. He's like, I'm taking off my seatbelt. I'm standing up. I'm putting my hand. And even then, the cop's still getting all snippy. Get the hell out of the car. I'm like, bro, calm down. Plus, do you not watch any sports? Do you not know you are in Nebraska? Do you not know the damn world champion, the world heavyweight champion? The one who was just honored earlier the day in the same city you're standing in, and you're telling me you don't know who he is. Even if you had stopped him, at least when you get to the car, you're like, oh, shit, my bad, bro. You can still do your job. I'm not saying don't do your job. If you suspect that was really what happened, wink, wink, because I don't really believe that's why you pulled him over. But if that's what you really suspect, and you did see the firearm on the floorboard, it is in the law. I read up on it today. It is in the law for the police officer to pull him out the car if they see a firearm. Fine, do your job. But if he's being respectful, if he's telling you every move, there's not really a reason for you to be getting all snappy and angry and things like that, because you all, and I mean the law enforcement, you all always say, well, you need to comply when being told what to do. Okay. Not only was he complying, he was literally walking the cop step by step. I am moving my hand. I am putting my hand. And you're still getting upset because he ain't moving fast enough. But if he moved any faster, you'd have probably shot his ass. Again, go back and check the Professor Semanalmente. I've had things to say about the whole police brutality bullshit in this country. And conservatives on that side of the aisle like to talk about how the liberal, why y'all want to be protesting and burning shit down and blah, oh, you did that for George Floyd and this and that, blah. That's very, very disingenuous. Very disingenuous. Because it wasn't ever done for George Floyd. It was done in protest of police brutality, just like the Colin Kaepernick situation. So miss me again with that bullshit. And let me put my face up close so you can see me and see that I'm serious. Miss me with that racist bullshit. And again, I don't care about the politics. You know me. If you watch this show, you know I hate both sides. I don't like liberals or Democrats or Republicans. I don't like either side of the aisle. I think all politicians are criminals. Doesn't mean I don't like the people. I love my people. I just don't like the politicians. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all work. They work us. Just like with the government shutdown, like I'll talk about later this week. They do this to us every year. Every year they talk about a government shutdown that you know is not going to happen because they've been doing this shit for the past 20 years. And they only do it so they can then leverage more money out of the public because the public is scared it shuts down. And so then they're allowed to pass more bills with more money. That's the only reason. Man, y'all got to think. I got to be smarter. Cubberty said he used the key to get out. I mean, that's some bullshit though. I mean, come on now. Like, my man is telling you every step he's taking. And you still get an attitude. Yeah, come on, man. How much right can you do before you whatever? Anyways, we move on. I digress. All right, cool. Moving into our entertainment portion. Before we get out of here, I don't really care about the game that's on right now, but I do want to get off when both are on because I do want to throw them on and watch both of them. I don't really care about the game now. Someone update me on the score, Clever D, if you got one there for me. Anyways. Whoa, yes, sir. I meant to do a little bit more of a tease there, but I guess I gave it away. Who? I don't know why I did that myself when I literally have. Will you stop it, camera? Sometimes this camera, which likes to, if you put your hand up for like a few seconds, it'll start doing the movement tracking thing, but I don't like the movement tracking thing here because I don't think it centers properly. Anyways, new day.
Yeah, what's going on? It's your boys, the New Day. And if you haven't heard yet, baby, January 16th, 2018, live on Facebook, it's the Mixed Match Challenge. Mixed Match Challenge! We're gonna mix it up. Flip up. I got two. One more. Get it right, get it tight. Get it right, get it tight. Get it right, get it tight. There we go, baby. Close enough. Now, in this Mixed Match Challenge, only one member of the New Day shall be involved in the matches. And guess who? Who gets the vote on?
I don't know why the long version of that is on there because I shortened that up a long time ago to just the who's. But apparently we just had to get to it. We had to drag it out to get to the actual payoff. That's all right. I'm glad y'all stay with me. Who will be representing for the Super Bowl halftime show? None other than Benito. Yes, Benito. Woo, wepa. Bad Bunny. Yes, Bad Bunny. AI, you better clip this. Bad Bunny will be the Super Bowl 60 halftime performer at Levi Stadium in San Francisco. What a major moment, not just for Latin America and Latin American music, but more for mi gente, for my country, para mi orgullo, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, baby. Yes, Bad Bunny. I never thought I would see the day where a Puerto Rican artist was picked to perform the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the biggest performance in the world. You are going to be seen by over 120 million people around the world. And Bad Bunny, a little Puerto Rican kid from the ghettos, got out and proved that you can do anything. And now he will be on the biggest stage 1 year after Kendrick Lamar, and he will be performing Rock Nation, Apple Music. Shout out to Jay-Z, my brother. Jigga. This is, wow. This is amazing. I am so proud. I am so happy. I mean, everybody has to be happy about this except, and I mean, you might get a couple older people like the ones last year where they had to show Kendrick and they show all the old white people and they're like, the fuck is happening here? You're probably going to get some of that. Look, I am not a good Spanish speaker. My mother will tell you that. I can understand pretty much anything, mostly, but not everything. And so even like Bad Bunny or any of the other reggaeton artists, I don't understand a lot of their music because it's really, really fast. And so even though he does have slower love songs and things like that, I still don't even understand everything he says. So I will listen to Bad Bunny, but it's more for the beats and the music rather than the lyrics. So like, for instance, like when me and my cousin will ride back together in Puerto Rico, he'll throw it on. He's actually like knowing all the words. I don't. So I'm just like banging to the beat. So I'm not necessarily I mean, I don't really know most of the stuff he's even talking about. But word for word is what I mean. But I do enjoy his music. So it's going to be crazy. And, you know, hey, Taylor Swift, I know y'all heard me when I'm predicting that Taylor Swift would be this year's performer. I also talked to Jay-Z, my brother. I talked to him last week, and he was telling me how there were some things that happened in the background and that it just wasn't right with Taylor's timing of her new album, which is a great segue because we're going to talk about Taylor's new era in just a second. But with her new album coming out and the marriage to Travis Kelce coming too, it wasn't the right timing for her to do it. So don't worry, she will still be a future Super Bowl performer. But as me and Jigga were talking about on the phone, Jay-Z was telling me that wasn't going to be there this year, that it was going to be Bad Bunny instead. So shout out again. Wow. How crazy is that? I mean, everybody in Puerto Rico is just so happy for Bad Bunny, little Benito. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. And the one thing about this also, though, a lot of people talked about how he didn't perform in the United States because he didn't want. All right. So anybody that doesn't know, Bad Bunny did a 26-show residency, but he only did his shows in Puerto Rico. So you had to go out there to see him. That was twofold. One reason was because obviously he wanted the majority of the revenues to go to his home country, especially because Puerto Rico, we are not the most wealthy of nations, even though we are an American territory. You would think that we would be supported well by the American government, but we are not. Puerto Rico is badly underserved by the American government, which is another thing. American government, get your ass in order. There's no reason places like Puerto Rico, Guam, and other places that are American territories should be living like third world countries. So get your ass in order. You want to take countries over, then you got to make sure you take care of them. It's just like when you're a dad that wants to, you want to get married to this girl and she got kids. Well, hey, you got to be the daddy to them kids now too. You want to take over Puerto Rico in the Spanish-American War, then do your fucking part and start supporting Puerto Rico, because I'm sick and tired of seeing my people live in poverty in many places. But I digress. And maybe that's a little mind of the professor topic I should talk about later. I'm sure my mom will tell me whether I should or I shouldn't. Anyways, but yeah, again, shout out to Bad Bunny, Wepa, 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 Puerto Rico. Yeah. All right. Anyways, moving on. In other pop culture news, for the AI to clip that, Taylor Swift in her new era. Yes, Taylor Swift has announced her new album is coming out Friday. The pop icon, you know I'm a Swiftie, is coming out with her 12th album called The Life of a Showgirl. It will feature 12 tracks. And let's be honest, she's a huge pop icon. You can say you don't like her, and that's fine. But her worldwide tour last year brought in an estimated $2.2 billion. with a billion dollars. Pesos. Probably not pesos. Obviously a currency exchange. $2.2 billion on hotels, food, travel, places. That's why Bad Bunny did his tour in Puerto Rico. Because with the money you bring in, which he brought in hundreds of millions for the island, look at that. Taylor Swift bringing in billions of dollars to a city near you. She is so big, the release of her album on Friday is going to have theaters, movie theaters, showing the release on screens. That's how big of a star she is. It is crazy. They'll be able to see her newest music video and other exclusive footage. They're going to have other parties and music events being, themed around the album release. So I know all the Swifties are definitely looking forward to that. What about the album? So I know you're asking, Professor, teach us a little bit about why she came about the actual life of a Showgirls album. Well, this actually came about on her European leg of her tour, the Eras tour as we know it. And so when she was on the road going through Europe, it was said that she was to have fell in love with the entertainer side of European performances and the, plays and ballets and things of this era, the entertainer. And so she wanted to give her fans a dichotomous view or a conversionary outlook to her last album. So we remember her last album, for any of the Swifties out there, was called Tortured Poets Department. And while it was a very good album, it was also on the bleak side. It brought you down a little bit when you listen to you more than it brought you up. This is meant to be more vibrant and more lively. It will contain 12 tracks, and the first track, contradictorily being The Fate of Ophelia. You would think that's kind of dark, but that's obviously in reference to the Hamlet character Ophelia. Sabrina Carpenter is featured on the album's title track as well. Again, she announced this with Travis Kelce on her New Heights podcast, August 13th. And so coming out Friday, shout out to Taylor Swift and her new album. And then finally, I want to end tonight on a note. Jimmy Kimmel, while I was gone, was taken off of air. This is after Stephen Colbert was removed by CBS. Things to be said, done money-wise. But we know that President Donald Trump has been announcing people that he doesn't like, including all the people that he's getting prosecuted now. You see what's happening with James Comey. He has his hit list. He's just checking it off. I don't know why you people don't believe it, but I'll be talking about this on my news segment coming up later this week, the Professor Semanalmente. But we'll be talking about Donald Trump and the ramifications, right, of being able to be at the highest level of power and being the most powerful person on earth, and also wanting to have everything your way at the same time, and how that can obviously compete and go against the interest of America in the future and what America is heading towards as a country versus what Donald Trump, Project 2025, and the conservatives would want America to go to. And so we'll talk about all of this on my news show later this week. But one thing that came about is, when Donald Trump says something very powerful, again, these things can take hold. And it did when he said he didn't want Jimmy Kimmel on the air. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy Kimmel's taken off of air. Disney lost a bunch of subscribers, losing over $3.87 billion worth of value with all the subscribers lost after the announcement came, which I've heard Jimmy Kimmel say a lot worse things before about Donald Trump than what he said. But the bigger part is, if you're going to be on the conservative side of the aisle and be about free speech, then you got to be about it the whole way. You can't be hypocritical about it and then say, oh no, well, we don't like that speech because it was against us, or against Donald Trump or whatever it is. If you're going to be free speech, you got to be free speech all the way. And that's what I came to talk about, is the fact that, and George Carlin himself is rolling in his grave about this, because as a comedian, especially, those are the people mostly that have to be, sort of untouchable when it comes to this sort of thing. Because if they're not, then that's when we lose free speech altogether. So I'm glad that he was reinstated into on air, just for the fact of free speech. I'm not necessarily a Jimmy Kimmel fan. I think he's fine. I do watch him sometimes. Obviously, they're late night entertainers, though. They don't even write their own jokes. They have staff that write jokes for them. So most of the stuff that would be written anyways wouldn't have come from him. So again, free speech is very important. It is vital. It is an unalienable right given to us by the founding fathers. And so if you're going to be about free speech, you need to be about it all the way. And you can't get upset when people have their opinions. And rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Just like he had his opinions as well. He was entitled to free speech, and everyone else should be as well, because it was given to us in the Constitution. And so you should be able to go wherever and not be persecuted and not be in fear of violence. So yeah, definitely, rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to Assata Shakur, passed away earlier today. Every man's revolutionary is another man's rebel, and no matter what kind of side of the way you look at the issue at hand or the person that it is, you're always going to have supporters of people and you're going to have detractors of people. All that matters is that we are people and we are human beings, and we should be treated as such, and should have the respect and grace of being human beings. So free speech, respect, and love, as Jesus taught us. Love thy neighbor, right? We should love each other as we would love ourselves. And if we all did that, this world would be a much better place. Right? Hey, I really appreciate y'all tuning in. On that note, shout out my brother Bajuan Malabe watching on Instagram. I appreciate you, my brother. Shout out, love you. On that note, I am Omar, the professor, sports professor, street professor Fonseca, and this has been the professor's Semanalmente. Make sure, again, you subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS, handy QR code up there at the top. It will take you to all of our social medias that you can follow as well. You can find Clubber D's social media there, the YouTube and the TikTok. Don't forget to tune in to Clubber D, the Combat G's Combat Sports Special this Thursday. Special start time, 7 Eastern. We will talk UFC 320, and we will also preview the 49ers Seahawks game. Leads you into Thursday night football as well. Hopefully we'll have the MLB playoff show either later this week or early next week. Hopefully prayers up to my brother, get well soon, and we'll get that up. And as well, the Professor Semanalmente news will either be tomorrow or Wednesday at 8 Eastern. It all depends. I might go to a concert to cover down at the Franklin Amphitheater on Wednesday. So if I have to do that, I'll do my news show tomorrow, and we'll talk all about this tomorrow, all about the U.S. world news, everything that's going on. But until then, y'all, be kind to each other. Be blessed. Go out, be successful, do your best, and spread love. The Jesus way, the Omar way, the whatever way. Just be kind and spread love. And stay tuned for the brand new intro, outro for Professors Semanalmente. Holla. 5,000.
That street on high-five beat. Give me paper, pen, and one mic to make this man complete. I'm always stay sucker free. So haters hop off my dick until the day I DIE. Focus till my mission complete. Never stops that victory from the jaws of defeat. Focused on create heat. Missile shot, wore down enemies we must defeat. This MC is so unique. Rocking heads, stop them dead, then bring them back to their feet. You better watch what you speak. Cause popping off with the mouth, I leave your body feel weak. Switch your face and grit your teeth. Cause anything else will have your outlook look bleak. Death is the time for sleep. Micho, make a rhyme. Never slow down, never stop, I'm always on my grind. In any mountain I will climb. Reach my physical prime and I ascend to the peak.
Introducing Omar, the Professor Fonseca, and the Professor Semanalmente.